Could you ever imagine the Texans adding a veteran playmaker to their talented young team? Well, they've gone and done it. Stefon Diggs has been traded from the Buffalo Bills to the Houston Texans. And in this YouTube video, the Ballers from across the pond will discuss the impact it will have on the Houston Texans and what next to the Buffalo Bills. Well. A blockbuster but not surprising trade has happened in the AFC East and the AFC South. Stefon Diggs is no longer a Buffalo Bill. He has been traded to the Houston Texans, and they only acquired him by spending a second-round pick in 2025. And in the process, the Buffalo Bills have $30 million in dead cap. There's a little bit to unpick from this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of moving parts. Stefon Diggs, realistically, looking at a player's career, this is most likely where he finishes off. And he's been very fortunate to have some good some good QBs. He's had Kirk Cousins, and he's gone from that. He's gone from Kirk to Josh, and now he's gonna have a young CJ Stroud who's looking like he's the guy. But taking all this into account, I think the writing was on the wall. I think he's been frustrated these last couple of years. But then again, it's hard for me to understand, because I'm like, what are you frustrated about? You're always in the hunt. You've got a good QB there. I understand you're not always getting the ball, but at this point, it should be more about you winning. I don't know. He's had his payday. Everyone knows he's the guy, but the frustration was still there. So I don't know, man. Maybe this is one of those things where long after both careers are over, we'll finally get some headway as to what was causing this sort of dispute, because we've seen it in the sidelines. We've seen them go back and forth. Do you know
the insane thing is? He ended his tenure in Minnesota with acrimony, right? Rumors of him being not a great teammate, causing bad discourse in the locker room. And then he makes his way to Buffalo. He had some great regular seasons, goes missing in the postseason regularly. And then more of these murmurings. You can see histrionics on the sidelines. I posed this to a friend who is a Buffalo Bills fan, and he says he was asking for greatness, right? That's what he was. But when it came to himself, his performance towards the latter end of last season, he went missing. He wasn't the number one wide receiver. He wasn't playing like a number one.
Yeah, and part of me thinks that rather than owning it, he'd be like, I'm not getting the ball. They're not putting me in this situation to win. Like, he's in a good situation. He's the number one receiver on that team. He's Josh Allen's preferably number one target.
Well, now he's no longer the number one receiver. Really? Is he?
Production-wise,
I'll let you chime in here on this, because there's a camaraderie between Nico Collins and his current quarterback, right? And CJ Stroud. They've got a whole year already of working together.
Yeah.
They've been setting the league on fire with their play. Now, is Diggs going to automatically prize at number one, or is it going to be like a 1A, 1B situation, do you think, over there?
I think it's going to be like a 1A, 1B situation, but automatically Diggs is your wide receiver one, because he's coming there with a track record of having done it in the league, and that is what it's going to be about. Because you don't trade for someone like Stefon Diggs with his massive contract, and he's going to be wide receiver too. Like, I think that the Texans are looking at this move as kind of like when you have a young quarterback and you pair with a veteran wide receiver, like when the Cardinals got DeAndre Hopkins for Kyler. It's like a similar type of move. Although
there's a difference.
Although D-Hop is a much higher caliber, than Stefon Diggs. Diggs sort of like comes in as your 1A, 1B, just based on the track record.
It's true though.
It's true though.
I'm not saying there's an issue.
Bro,
All I'm saying is
D-Hop Diggs, bro.
Yeah, no, I know he is.
Diggs.
He's done it on every team he's been on. He's performed at a high level. So regardless of the QB, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's very sharp. You know, that's very like bang, just like that, open and shut.
When you look at it, Stefon, he wants to be playing later on in the season, right? Generally, that's what you consider. And later on in that season, he has gone missing.
Well, he has, which I acknowledge that. But I think part of it, a major part of it.
And he had a big drop last year. He had one of the drops of like the entire offseason, the postseason as well.
True. I'm not absolving him from all of that, but I think it comes down to, I think this is a relationship thing. I think his relationship with Josh Allen broke down from 2022 and throughout the whole 2023 season. They played together, but they were not on the same page most of the time. And I don't know what the issue is. Because normally, when QBs and a wide receiver have a personal issue, they kind of find a way to resolve it, but they never resolved it. And you could see it on the field, like it plagued them majority of the year.
Now, if we look at how this is going to affect the two teams going forwards, right? So, the Houston Texans, this could go one of two ways. Diggs hits the ground running, great for their offense, and the team like runs away to an AFC South title, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or could Diggs be kind of counteracting all of the good that they've done in this last season? Could that happen?
Going to be like their number one. Now, I think Nico is going to be the guy heading forward. You got Tank Dell there. They already have that rapport. They came in together as young players. And make no mistake, the Houston Texans are looking at that unit. Diggs is the guy coming in from the outside. But my question, to sort of reflect it back, is do you think Diggs is going to be able to tolerate that for more than maybe 2 seasons?
No. Can he tolerate that for more than half a season?
For more than half a season? If he doesn't get
the
ball, what's he going to do? Is he going to throw another tantrum? And then what? Because he'll be moved. Because Houston has shown that they can be successful with the young unit they have. And I don't be surprised if they draft it. In fact, no, they have Kincaid over there at tight end, right? So they've kind of got like their wide receiver.
Kincaid's over at the Bills.
Oh, who's their tight end?
Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is.
There you go. Then so they've got their young wide receiver, one in the making. They've got a slot receiver in Tank Dell, who's a really good number 2, productive. They've got a competent tight end. So it's kind of like,
and then you've got Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield as well. There's a lot of this ball to spread around in this offense.
So it's not like he's going to the Jaguars and they don't necessarily have anyone there. Well, they have someone there now, but they can move on from him. So I hope he's open-minded and understands it's pretty much going to be the same as it was in Buffalo, minus the friction. I don't think he's going to get the ball when he wants it and as often as he wants it, but I still think he's going to be able to sort of contribute to the team. I don't think he'll be a cancer, because if he is, then everyone knows the deal. You know, everyone knows. Yeah, everyone will be like, well,
it would have been 3 times in a row that the rumors would have been coming out. Now, Peter, your take on this one, on the Texan side of it.
Well, I think here's the thing. Stefon Diggs, I think he's maybe getting a bit of a bad rep here because until it got to Buffalo, he was never known as someone that massively, always threw tantrums. Yes, at the Vikings towards the end when he wasn't getting the football, he wanted to leave and then they traded him to Buffalo. And it started off at Buffalo all great. Everything was good the first 3 years or so until this past 2 seasons. towards the end of 2022 and throughout 2023 when like I said, it goes back to the relationship that he and Josh Allen has. And when it's a breakdown in the quarterback wide receiver relationship, the quarterback usually wins. Now, if he goes to the Texans, he's going to join the team
because they're
he's going to
more
contribute
irreplaceable
to the. Well, people say as they should. Well, it didn't turn out well for Big Ben when AB left, did it? No, it didn't, because as much as Big Ben is always going to be the one that you choose, and the quarterback is the most important
although
player.
AB wasn't
but
although
yeah, but you're still
yes, he was right in the head and whatever. But AB was still a baller, though. You need to understand.
It could have been Baker Mayfield, and they would have still chosen AB. They would have still chosen quarterback.
What I'm saying is that yes, but Big Ben didn't do anything after AB left. Though. That's a fact. We all know it. Exactly. So
that is correct. But coming back to the point on the Texans.
So coming back to the point that I'm making with the Texans, my point is this: that he's gonna go in, he's gonna fit in. But the thing is, he still believes he's a wide receiver one. So it's gonna be a case of CJ Stroud is gonna have to find a way to keep him and mainly Nico Collins happy, because Stefon Diggs is a veteran wide receiver that's coming with a lot of cachet. You people don't understand that these veteran wide receivers, they're coming in. He's coming in to be.
Let me put it this way. Ego
Collins had a great breakout year.
But ego like that is a detractor from real success.
Well, the Texans wanted him, so they traded together.
I don't think it's going to phase him.
I would have carried on building. If it was me, I would have carried on building with Nico Collins. I didn't even think they needed to make that move.
I don't think it was necessary. Now, let me put it this way. Peter, I just want to build on your point, right? Because you don't think about it. You think they needed to do it. So I chat with some people, and they were saying, "Oh, the Texans have got the AFC South on lock," right? They were saying to me, because they know I'm a Colts fan, obviously, and I was like, they're battling against a Colts team in the same division, and the Colts almost pipped them to that title, even though they didn't have a quarterback for the majority of the actual season, because I got Gardner Minshew behind center. Now, they don't have that. We've got the quarterback back again next season, and the Colts fans can only hope that Stefon Diggs will be a detractor, right? Because if he's a distraction, then that helps the Colts.
I just hope he's able to embrace his new role heading forward. I don't think CJ is really going to be fazed by it, because make no mistake, Houston Texans are all in on Stroud. There isn't any pecking order where sort of Diggs can influence that. He's coming in, he's going to have to get in line. If the team doesn't improve, or if he doesn't contribute as a veteran wide receiver, he's going to be the one by default heading in. But whether or not he maintains that throughout the season, that's on him. So he's got to get in the extra reps. You know, he's got to catch a few hundred balls before the first game of the season, plus thousands potentially. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to sort of build up a rapport. They've got to work out their timings. If he just thinks he can hop in halfway through training camp because, I'm a vet, I know what I'm doing, and then he's surprised he's not going to get those the catches that he wants, the production that he wants, then that's on him. To cycle back to Pete's point as well, with his analogy with Big Ben, I think this is also going to put pressure on Josh Allen, because now it's up to him to sort of produce.
All right, so now let's pincer this whole discussion quickly onto the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills now have Shakir as their wide receiver one. Their wide receiver 2 is Curtis Samuel.
I mean, they brought him in. Maybe they knew this was going to go down, so they tried
The Buffalo Bills have got to be targeting someone in the draft. But
and
the
they're
thing is,
picking
they
like
only have the
high
28th
20s.
pick.
They've got to trade up. They're gonna have to trade up.
And that, and, okay,
Well, receive
they are. That
from where
person is a
they're at.
wide receiver, right? And yeah, if they're coming up to get a weapon. They're not coming up for anything else.
Or there is a wide receiver who does want to leave his team. His name is T. Higgins. Could that be a destination?
They don't have the cap. They don't have the cap.
Yeah, because they're still paying. Well, they're still going to be paying
Josh.
Because they just
Yeah,
they just took 30 million dead cap for trading Stefon Diggs just now for 2024. That's a huge cap hit. And when you get T. Higgins probably wants between the 23 and the 25 range per year because he believes he's a wide receiver one. Okay, so right now we're approaching a time period in the NFL whereby all these wide receiver ones that are coming up are looking at 28 to 30 million dollars per year. Wow. That money keeps shooting up every year. Now, wide receivers used to cost 20, 29. It was 19, 20, 21. Then it went up to 22, 23, 24. Now we've arrived at a 28, 30 mark because quarterbacks are now going for 40, 50 million. You see? So the money keeps going up.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins comes with a lot of money implications. So they could trade for T. Higgins if T. Higgins agrees to play on the franchise tag and then maybe extend his contract in the offseason with them promising to give him his money. Then probably if an agent always tell you, get your money, don't wait on the promise. Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't wait on words,
think
man. Go get your money.
Up in the draft. Now, but in terms of the draft, looking at where they are 28, they'll probably have to move up. I'm looking at their picks right now. They've got pick 28, second round pick 60. They don't have any third round pick. They got a couple of picks. They got 2 4s, 3 5s, 3 6s, and a 7.
They have to give some of those up, man.
Move, including the second round pick that they picked up from the Texans, and maybe
Depends
go
how,
up to
but
go
the
and
thing
get.
is, the wide receiver class is quite deep. So at 28, they still could find some good value.
It's deep, but there's a chasm. There's a chasm between those top guys. Don't worry, it's still good. It's still good. Like you can definitely get a guy who can come in. Let's say out of the top 3 or 4 guys, if you go underneath that, you could probably get a guy that can come in and be a bona fide level number 2 in this league that has the potential to become a 1, provided he's in the right scheme and he adapts fast. All right, but like I said, I think if you get rid of someone like Diggs, remember the Bills don't have a history of drafting offensive pieces that stay on the team for long. Like they can't evaluate running backs. They don't even run the ball, you know. And receivers, they don't really have a great history. So like they almost have to go for a surefire guy.
Receiver.
Yeah, I know, but they need to almost try and they need to go for a surefire pick here. A guy like a can't miss guy. You know,
well,
and it may not be a receiver, man. Maybe they get that tight end, you know, maybe, you know.
Well, they've already got one in Dalton Kincaid, so and who is a bona fide, you know, tight end kind of player as well. So well, yeah, there we have it. Our little breakdown on the trade blockbuster news that's happened over the last few hours, reported by Adam Schefter originally. Well, until next time, we'll catch you on all of our other brilliant content across the board.